Hey, welcome to Truth Tuesday with Pastor Josh. Truth is the true and actual state of a matter. It is conformity with fact or reality. It is verified. It's the real deal. Let's look at what that means today on Truth Tuesday. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me again today for our podcast. We're in the book Unoffendable by Brant Hansen. I encourage you to pick up a copy of it. We're in chapter 18 today, and the title of the chapter is On Winning. And by winning, I mean, of course, losing. And so we kind of talked about love a little bit yesterday, and so he kind of continues that vein, and he says a few things in here that I really just think help flesh that out a little bit more. He says, I'm convinced of this, that the battleground of anger and offense, of forgiveness and letting go, is where it all matters. He says, letting go of an offense and anger means forgiving, and forgiving means sacrifice. And so he spends a little bit more time talking about sacrifice and the importance of it. He says, whenever you are willing to forgive, you are saying, I've got this. I'm going to pick up the bill for this. You know, it's like paying for the ticket when you're out at a meal, when you pick that ticket up for everyone involved. Now, it's not saying carry the load. It says that you're letting it go by accepting and saying, hey, you know, I've forgiven this. You take initiative in that. Our anger is valuable to us. That's why we want to hold to it, to savor it. Since anger has value, giving it up requires sacrifice. The truth is that we feel like if we don't hold on to our anger and our offense and our unforgiveness, we feel like somehow they're not going to get justice, right? We're not going to get justice, and they're not going to get the retribution for what they've done. Well, the truth is that that's probably a good thing for the most part. That's think about it for a moment. Do you really want to get justice for what you've done? Because we're so good at turning the tables on someone else, so we're the same tables we're not willing to turn back on ourselves. Like I mentioned yesterday, it's a double standard. It's something where we expect someone else to be punished while we get off scot-free. It's human nature to desire that. Well, the truth is that justice, true justice, we don't understand what exactly that looks like. Justice doesn't always mean punishment for wrongdoing. Justice, many times, is the restoration that needs to happen in the lives of people. That's what God's really looking for. He's looking to restore people's lives. Now, I realize that there's going to be things that happen to us or people around us. There could be some really terrible things that have happened, and I understand that. And that's really, really hard to deal with, and I haven't been there. I haven't been in one of those spots where it's something so terrible that, in any human strength, there's no possible way forgiveness or, love could be shown to someone. And I understand that, and that's where we need so much of God's grace to help us in navigating that. And so I don't want to sound insensitive by saying that no matter what it was, you just need to get over it. That's not what I'm saying today. I am saying that we need to entertain this conversation. We need to have this conversation with the Lord and allow Him to change our perspective, allow Him to bring the healing necessary, allow Him to help us to sacrifice those things. Because let's be honest, it's easier to be angry than it is to forgive. We can be angry at someone. We feel the fuel of that. We feel the emotion of that. We feel justified by that. But our feelings aren't always true. And the most powerful thing in all the world is love extended through forgiveness. When we see that, I remember hearing a story about the young cop, the female cop who had she had come into a building. I don't know the whole story. I don't know all the details, but I know she had come into a building. Long story short, she ended up shooting, a brother, somewhere. I think it was in Texas or something. And so she ended up killing this guy. And so she ended up going to trial and, was getting ready to be sentenced and all these different things. And they were going through all the witnesses and everything. And the victim's family, got up, and the brother to the one who had been shot to death, that brother was actually there that night, and the first thing he wanted to do is tell this young policewoman who Jesus was. So he told her about the gospel, and then he told her that he forgave her, and then he wanted to get up and give her a hug, and ask permission, and the judge gave him permission to do so. And the woman, she wept and wept. I mean, you could tell that it was something she didn't even know she needed. But in that moment, it was powerful. I mean, I couldn't hold back my tears. I know that it was just it was a powerful, moving moment where forgiveness was seen clearly. I mean, who can forgive someone who kills someone, right? I mean, how can you forgive her for what she did? Only by the grace of God, right? It's hard, and I've had to do that at different things at different times. Not anything so extreme as that, right? But there's been times where it felt so extreme, where I've had to forgive, and it's so hard. But as we do it, we find that the person we're letting out of the prison is us. It's definitely us. We were the ones holding ourselves in there, and our unforgiveness didn't hold them in there. It held us in that cage, and so let yourself go. Let yourself out. It's a sacrifice. I know it's hard, but when we make that sacrifice, we see that God is faithful, and He's able to help our hearts to heal in that. And so I just want to encourage you with that today. I know this is a hard one today, so consider what that means for you in your life and where you're at. Feel free to comment, and feel free to interact, and let me know how I can pray with you in this. And partner with you to help any way I can to help you to take that step towards sacrifice. So thanks for joining me today. I look forward to be able to share again with you tomorrow, chapter 19 of Brian Hanson's book, Unoffendable. Thanks for joining me.